Many thanks for staying with us on Good Morning Abuja. We all know that our languages, our culture, the beautiful African culture, and our languages are gradually fading out, and there is a cry for help. That is why the federal government has made a new policy to include our mother tongue as a compulsory medium of instruction in public primary schools. To discuss that with me in the studio is Aisha, Atiku, an educationist. Welcome on the program, Aisha.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good to see you again. When you walked into the studio, I was so excited because I know what you have upstairs.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here once again.
Yeah, okay. So there's a new policy that which makes mother tongue a compulsory medium of instruction for public primary schools.
Yes.
What do you think about this?
I believe it's a good policy.
Okay.
And it's going to, research has it that children, you develop their intelligence best by teaching them in their mother tongue. So it's a good one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, Nigeria, we are a diverse people.
Of course.
Our languages are just so many. You find out that in some local governments, you might have 2 or 3 languages in that local government.
Yes.
So if you're going to give instructions in a language, how do we intend to achieve this without causing rancor among the languages in a particular place?
At the Federal Executive Council meeting where the Minister of Education briefed journalists, he explained that in a community, the language of communication within the community, that is the most dominant language, is what will be used to teach children in that particular community. I mean, where the primary school is located, so the language of dominance is what will be used.
Do you see this creating rancor among the people of certain communities?
Okay, you know, the thing with change is it's usually met with rejection. Many people don't like to adjust to change. So definitely it's going to be a challenge, but then I believe it's something that we can all adjust to with time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In your opinion, what do you think the government is trying to achieve with this new policy?
It is very clear that this whole new policy is to promote and enhance and promote the cultivation and use of Nigerian languages.
Okay.
Like you mentioned earlier, some of Nigerian languages have become extinct actually, like about 26 of them.
Okay.
So we are now left with 625 according to the last count. So to avoid loss of culture,
yes,
I think that's a very good one for us to adopt.
Okay.
Yes, and you see this advanced countries, the pace-setting countries like France, Germany, the Arab nations, they all teach their children in their languages. And some of our people, when they travel abroad to study, whether it is in an Arab country, a French country, they quickly adapt because they have to learn the language for half a year or sometimes even a whole year. Okay. And they do that, they learn and they adapt because it's the language of instruction. They don't speak English there. Okay. So I think it's something very good that we should all embrace because it's going to be really good for us, especially in the next generation.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you foresee challenges with this new policy?
Yes, of course there will be challenges as with any new newly introduced policy. The government is also aware of this because there's need for time to develop instruction resources, and also to provide qualified teachers to teach using the mother tongue. So those are some of the challenges that we may face in the implementation. Because theoretically it is already supposed to be in practice, but then it can't be fully implemented without the provision of this learning materials, the instructional materials, and then qualified teachers. So,
okay, okay. So this policy states that in public primary schools, what then happens to children in private schools? Shouldn't they be included, like, you know, made to also follow the same policy?
Yes, I believe private institutions will also follow suit with time.
Okay.
As soon as everyone starts to realize the essence of it. You know, we are in an advanced world and it's fast changing. You need critical thinking, you need deep intellectual ability to be able to survive in this world. And so when you use the mother tongue to teach a child, the difference will definitely be there. So I believe that this is something that you know, we all need to just have an open mind
towards it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you know, a thought just crossed my mind. For people in rural communities, or you know, it's easier to just pick the most dominant language and teach in those languages. But for you and I that stay in the cities,
yes,
and we have a lot of other tribes, and our children are in the same school. Okay, let me give this example with us here in Abuja.
yes.
If you talk about the most dominant language, you're definitely talking about probably Gbagi.
Okay. Yes, that's the local language.
Yes, that's the local language here in. So, having my child being taught in Gbagi, I don't you see any problem? Wouldn't that be a challenge? Having a child that has nothing to do with you just find yourself in that environment and you're now being taught in that language. Isn't that going to pose a challenge?
You know, just like I mentioned earlier, I believe this policy is also going to boost unity. As a parent, I would love for my child to learn other languages besides Hausa or any language that is natural to them.
Okay.
I would love my child to learn many other languages. So I know there are parents that would not want that, which is why it is going to be a challenge, of course.
Yes.
But I would advise that we all have an open mind, because it's not going to harm the child if the child should learn a language that is different from their own ethnic language. I think it's supposed to be looked on as a bonus.
Okay.
And something that will help the child to survive almost anywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank
Just
you
before we
very much.
let you go,
Okay.
words of advice to people. You had actually said a lot of advices, especially the one you mentioned of being open-minded. But you know, advice to parents so that this new policy can be better understood and you know, accepted.
Okay. So now, speaking as a parent to other parents out there, I would like us to all have an open mind, because this is a policy that was well thought out. A lot of people sat down of course, there might have been a representative of your own mother tongue there at the meeting. So this is something that is going to be for our own benefit, for the benefit of our children. So I believe we should all have an open mind and be accepting of something that is going to benefit all of us. So it's going to help our children. So I think we should all embrace it with an open mind. That's
All right.
my advice.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. Yeah. Now we've heard it all from Aisha, Atiku. We should be open-minded to this new policy, for it will further enhance unity in our communities and the nation at large. Now, Good Morning Abuja continues after this timeout. Please stay with us.